What's up guys, Eric from B-Side. Today we have here a 2013 Lexus LS 460 and we're excited to do an updated video of our S-Connect plug-and-play CarPlay Android Auto system. The installation process is same as before, but there's some new functions that we have added ever since that last video. We want to go over some installation tips and some details that I didn't cover before, which might be useful for new DIYers. And also as a side note, this instruction video can be used for all models from 2013 all the way 2017 Lexus LS 460. But for 2013 and 2015 model, the screen is gonna be cut 3/4 of the left side, whereas if you have the 2016 and 2017 model, you will have the full screen. So those are two differences. This switch is gonna be different. Screen resolution is gonna be different, but the installation is gonna be exactly the same. So let's stop talking, let's go inside the car and get started. All right guys, we're inside the vehicle, but before we get started, a quick thank you to Adam, the car owner of this, for letting us use his vehicle. Thanks to people like Adam, we're able to create these type of content and show you exactly how our devices are installed and also how it works. So thank you very much once again. All right guys, so once we're in the car, the first thing we want to do is remove the shift knob here. Just push down on the shift boot like this and just turn it counterclockwise. All right, okay. Next, let's remove these two side panels over here. You could use a panel removal tool or you can also pull it out. So after you remove this, let's go put this aside in a safe location. We're gonna remove this other side as well. Okay, so when you pull this, just note that these clips are facing this way. So pull the front out first and then pull it out like so. Okay, and then on the other side here, there's actually two 10mm bolts that we need to remove. Just these two here. Next, let's raise the armrest. Okay, we're gonna remove this small trim here, the center console. All right. Next, we need to remove this piece here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna place a flathead screwdriver on the bottom here and just pop it, push it out from the back. Okay, there it is. All right, so if you just look down here, you'll see the white clip going in. Just place the flathead behind it and just push it forward. So you do the same for the other side. I'm just gonna pull it out from here. All right, here we go. Okay, and here it is. Okay, so the next step we wanna do is let's remove this center console here. Just grab a hold of this and just pull up. All right, and then dislodge it from the pocket up front. Okay. All right, so once you remove this connector, this cable here is long enough, so you just set it aside here. Just make sure, be careful, do not damage your seats. So you could just keep it under a towel like so. Okay, just keep it right there. And then next, we want to remove this. Before we do so, we're gonna change the gear. And before we change the gear, make sure your emergency brake is engaged. If you don't engage your emergency brake and you're parked at some sort of an incline, then your car will roll. So make sure to note of that. So press down on this shift release and then we'll just move this down. All right, and then just grab it. Let's go ahead and remove this. Let's disconnect this connector here. All right, there it is. And let's place this aside. Okay, and now let's remove these two panel pieces, the left and right of the radio. Just pull on them. Okay, and then disconnect the start button. Leave that aside. Next, let's remove this. There's two 10mm bolts, one there and one here. You'll need an extension for this. Pull it out, make it come out like so. Okay, and after we remove that, let's go ahead and remove this top piece. So pry the side panel out like so. Drop the glove box. We're gonna pull this center piece out. Okay. All right, and then gently pull this back, and then let's disconnect these two connectors. Okay, next, let's remove this panel that surrounds the screen, just pull this towards you, okay? And then just pry it out. There we go. All right, and that will expose the 4 10mm bolts. We're gonna remove them. You could use a socket with a ratchet, or you can also use a power tool like what we're using right now. When you're removing this, be careful with these brackets down here, especially the bottom ones, because they are sharp and you don't want to touch the inside interior of your car with it. And going back here, let's disconnect all the connectors. Just push up on the release lever, pull up, and you'll have white, blue, and black. Make sure you reconnect everything when you reinstall to ensure you don't lose any functions. All right, now that everything's out, we are ready to connect our kit. We are going to start off with these 2 GVIF cables. All right, I'm gonna start with these guys, 2 GVIF cables. Okay, and I like to connect this first just so I could reinstall the screen so I don't have it hanging around anywhere. And being on the car has the least amount of chance it'll get damaged. Okay, so we have our GVIF connector, connect this. This part goes into the screen. All right, and then grab the other ends. We are going to route this straight to the back left and we're going to bring it back down. Okay, so let's do that. You can actually go here. If you like, you can route 1 cable at a time. Okay, like so. I'll catch it here and we will keep routing it all the way to the bottom of the radio. And we want to come out towards the bottom where the original cup holders were down there. Okay, that's where you want it. Okay, we'll have it routed to how we like. And next, reconnect everything and reinstall our screen. Okay, once again, be very careful with the brackets. Make sure it doesn't touch any part of your interior. If you want to be extra careful, you can mask this area off if you like. Okay, and then when we press this, we're going to go in this way. Like so. All right, so all the connections from our top screen is complete. And now let's work on the connection behind the radio. Okay, so in your kit you have this. This is the auxiliary harness. We don't use this anymore, so it comes with a kit, but this is optional. You do not have to install it. We don't install it here just because it keeps the installation much cleaner without this. This is if you want to use auxiliary audio input. Our device now uses the factory Bluetooth audio, so this once again is not needed. Okay, so this is the connector that we're going to connect behind the radio. Okay, these cam wires are already going to be pre-configured, but if you want to double check our work, this orange and white wire has to connect to these 2 red wires. Like so. All right, so that's it. And let's locate the connector behind the radio. It's going to be this large one here. There's a release tab on the right side of the radio. Okay, just push up. Okay, this is a release. Just gotta push and then go push up on the connector like so. Okay, and that part will connect to the female side of our harness. Okay, when you're connecting this, it needs to go in really smoothly. If you feel some resistance, then undo it. Make sure you didn't bend any pins on the way and then do it again. And when you're connecting it, make sure it's perfectly straight, because we had cases where the middle pins becomes a little bit misaligned. It doesn't make it inside a hole. When that happens, a few things could happen, but most often the factory microphone ends up having issues. So you end up getting an error that says factory microphone error on your screen. And when you make phone calls, the person that you're talking to will not be able to hear you. So just take note of that. Once again, when you push this in, there shouldn't be any resistance. If you feel any resistance, double check that none of the pins got misaligned or pressed a little bit or bent a little bit, and then straighten it out and try one more time. Okay, and the other side, let's connect it back in here. Okay, all right, let it make that clicking noise to ensure it connected in all the way. All right, so that finish is our connection. Okay, and make sure you want to also organize the connectors and cables behind the radio as well. What I'm gonna do is blue tape that was on here, I'm not sure if this is factory. I'm going to remove this so it gives the harness a little bit more room to breathe. All right, so by removing this, give the ability for you to maneuver the wires and harnesses a little bit better so that it's not pulling on anything. All right, so I'll leave it at that. Okay, and we'll find a good place to mount it. We should have plenty of room so that you don't have any problems when pushing the radio back in. All right, so we have these other wires here. So we are going to route this under the radio behind, and then same place where we routed these GVIF cables. Okay, so you could route these wires one cable or wire at a time. Okay, there we go. We'll leave it like that. All right, so for this customer, we're gonna install this additional optional USB adapter. This is to convert your factory USB into a wired CarPlay Android Auto, or you can also use it for charging. Our device does charge faster than the factory USB. Our device charges at 2.1 amps compared to the factory 1.5 amp. So it's gonna be an upgrade, but the bad thing about using this is you will lose the factory USB function. Factory USB function includes loading music files to a USB thumb drive, plugging it in, playing it in your car, and on top of that, direct connection from your iPhone to use the iPod source for better quality audio. So you're gonna lose those two functions if you use this, but if you use this, it'll be a cleaner install. You won't have any additional USB hanging out anywhere. And on top of that, you'll be able to utilize the factory USB connection for CarPlay Android Auto if you wish. All right, so how to install this? If you go down here, you'll find a gray square plug on the bottom. Okay, so just press down and remove. All right, looks just like that. Okay, and we're going to connect our adapter to it. So the factory side is going to remain disconnected, and we have this. For best performance, we usually want to connect this plug here directly to the CarPlay module, but unfortunately it won't reach our CarPlay module to where we want to mount it, and there's not enough space to mount it behind the radio here. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect it to our extension cable and route it through the same way we routed the other cables. All right. Okay, so next, let's push this radio back in and connect the rest of the kit. All right, so now that that's in, let me do the rest of the connections. Let me grab all our harnesses and connectors here. All right, guys, so the dip switch setting is already going to be pre-configured for your vehicle for the 2015, for the 2013 all the way 2015 LS 460. It's going to be 1, 6, and 7. If you have the 2016 and 2017 Lexus LS 460, this switch is going to be different. So make sure to just double, if you want to double check, there's going to be a label here that tells you exactly what it is. So you can do that to check. All right, let's grab this and let's connect our GVIF cables. So one's going to be labeled GVIF in. That will connect to the outer side, and the other one is going to be labeled GVIF out, and that will connect to the inner side, like so. Next, let's connect our main harness connector. It's going to be this. Okay, let's connect it here. All right. And next, all we have to do is connect our HDMI cable. Alright, so all the connection on our dip switch box is complete. Put this over to the side, and let's grab our CarPlay module. Okay, so let's first connect our power cable. And then let's go to the other side of the box. We'll connect our microphone input right here. Okay. And we'll connect our USB like so. And next, let's connect the HDMI cable. And lastly, let's connect our RF antenna cable. This is for your wireless CarPlay Android Auto. All right, so everything is connected. So let me do a quick test to ensure everything is working before I clean up the wires and cables, find a mounting spot, and reverse order everything I just did. Okay, so upon first initial startup, the screen will start black, and then just give it a little moment and you'll see the system loading sign. First, I want to check to make sure there is nothing wrong with the car. Just check all your factory functions. I'm going to check the microphone as well. Fuel prices.
Fuel prices.
All right.
Is that after the beep? Say a short.
And that is working. Okay. And let me try to plug my phone into the factory USB plug. Okay, I do have to change the resolution on this. For your car, when you purchase the kit, the car will come pre-configured with the correct resolution settings. Okay, this is 800 by 480. All right, and if you want to see the change in the resolution, you will have to restart the car, reboot it. Okay, there we go. Terrific. Looks like everything is working. The test was a success. Let me reverse order everything I just did and organize the wires and cables and find the correct mounting points, and that will conclude our installation. All right, guys, so we went ahead and mounted these two boxes down here. Before, we used to drop the whole glove box and mount it behind the glove box. It's a little bit more work, so we always try to look for ways that's easier to install, and it does fit in here pretty well. And the kit comes with foam tape. We ended up not using the foam tape for this because it is already pretty tight. The foam tape will just make it more difficult for all the panels to go back in. Everything's gonna set in place because everything is pretty tight into it. So this is good. All right, guys, so we just finished installing it. We put all the factory connectors back together. It's first time turning on the car with our phone connected, wired. We didn't set up the wireless yet, but as you can see, right when your car boots up and the device connects to our system, screen will switch over to the CarPlay screen automatically. So there's a few things we want to check before we go forward. So let's go back to the native Lexus screen. Just push and hold the map button. All right, and then while you are here, press menu and go to your display. And make sure for the optimal screen quality, make sure your contrast and brightness is to the center first, and you could check. And if you want to make more adjustments after that, you may do so, but I recommend that you start off with it being centered on both the brightness and contrast. And after you do that, you want to go to your media, and let's go to the Bluetooth. All right, let's connect our phone to it. And new. Let's go to the phone. We're gonna go to Bluetooth. All right, and let's connect to this Lexus. I believe this is it. The hands-free. All right. Pair. I will not sync our contacts and favorites because it's not our car. Okay. It is connected. You want to keep it on the Bluetooth audio source because all the audio for the CarPlay and Android Auto is going to come through the car's Bluetooth. All right, and then you can press and hold the map button and it will take you here. So right now we're showing the wired way. When you're setting up the wireless connection, make sure that your phone doesn't connect to the USB until after you set up the wireless, or else it's going to default to the wired and you won't be able to use wireless again. So for example, like right now, we showed you this example wired without connecting wireless. So your phone registered this device as a wired only device. So due to that, in order to get it connected wirelessly, you do have to restart your phone and then connect it. So let me give you an example. So if you go here, say we go to our general CarPlay setting. This is the setting that you want to use when you're connecting wireless CarPlay. And okay, so it will not show up. So for it to show up, just restart the phone. So let's restart our phone. Let's turn it off and we're gonna turn it back on. All right, so we start our phone. Phone's back up. Let's make sure the device is turned on. You want to go to your settings. Okay, never connect from Wi-Fi or Bluetooth menu. Instead, go to General and then go to CarPlay. All right, give it a moment. You'll see it on the bottom here. All right, here we go. MV17W-815. And we're gonna pair this. All right, let's go to connect. And it doesn't matter which screen you're in. You could be in the factory screen when you do this, or you can be in the CarPlay screen. So right when the phone connects to it, the screen will switch over automatically, as you've seen here. So that is done, and then right now the audio will all come through the Bluetooth. So let me give you an example here. All right, here we go. So right now it's connected wirelessly. We also have the Bluetooth connected to our phone. And let me go over all the functions with you. So first, from the phone's volume control also has an effect of the volume on the car's Bluetooth audio and also your phone calls. So just keep that in mind. I'm just gonna keep it maxed out, okay? And while we're playing this music, of course, the volume knob continues to work. The steering wheel control volume also continues to work as well. And then let's test out the Siri volume level. So we're gonna push menu. What's the weather? Okay. So it's a little bit quiet. So if you wanna raise the Siri volume, press and hold the side button to summon Siri, and you can raise the Siri volume. And I recommend maxing it out if your audio volume is also maxed out as well. So let me do what's the weather?
The National Weather Service has issued an accessible...
Sounds much better. Okay, that's that. And then at the same time, of course, the track up and down will continue to work on the steering wheel control. This track up and down will continue to work as well. You can also pause and play. And on top of that, this also works as track up and down, track up and down. All right, if you want to go back to your native screen, push and hold the map button. That'll take you back. Push and hold again. That'll take you back into CarPlay. And every time you turn on the car, now that the phone is paired to the device wirelessly, the phone, right when the phone makes the wireless connection, the screen will switch automatically to the CarPlay screen. If you have an Android phone, it'll work the same as well. The Android phone will switch. Android phone will connect to the system, Bluetooth audio, and wireless Android Auto, and the screen will switch automatically as soon as you get in your car and as soon as the device connects to our system. For some of you who doesn't want to use wireless CarPlay Android Auto, you may now use the wired from the factory USB. You can use that as well, but for audio, make sure it is connected to the car's Bluetooth for the audio to come through. Okay, and then let me just show you that you don't lose any of your factory function. Backup camera shows you reverse, shows the backup camera, go back, and then it will go back to your CarPlay screen. At the same time, you have this little cursor that comes out. The mouse, if you move it all the way to the right, it goes to your factory functions. Another function, of course, you can pick up and hang up phone call buttons. That will continue to work. Pick up and hang up. All right, so let me switch over the phone. So before we switch over the phone, go to your iPhone and turn off both your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth from your settings. Okay, do not turn it off from the shortcut. This is a shortcut here. If you turn it off from the shortcut, it will not turn off all the way. Everything's disconnected. This 3-icon screen is what you see when nothing is connected. We're gonna press and hold the map button, go back to the factory screen, and we wanna first make sure that our second phone is connected, second phone's Bluetooth is connected to the car's Bluetooth. So make sure both your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi is turned on. Go to setup, go to Bluetooth, connect phone, and let's go to add new. All right, and let's go to your Bluetooth setting. I'm going to available devices, and we're gonna wait until the Lexus LS shows up. All right, let's connect to this. Okay, going to pair. All right, so it's connected. Let's push and hold the map button. Go back to 3-icon screen and stay on the Bluetooth menu, and we're going to connect to MV17W. So for Android phone, when you want to connect wirelessly, just connect it from the Bluetooth setting, whereas when you're connecting an iPhone, you want to go to the CarPlay setting through General Settings, General CarPlay. So everything will work just as you imagine on a normal native Android Auto, just like the CarPlay. And once again, backup camera shows in reverse gear. When you go out, it goes back to your Android Auto screen. And on top of that, your track up and down continues to work. Play, pause also works. Track up, track down. All that continues to work. And then also the volume as well. All right, so as you can see, the track up and down and the volume up and down, all that continue to function as well. And if you want to go back to your native screen, just push and hold the map button, okay? And if you want to summon Siri, press the menu. Not Siri, Google Assistant. What's the weather? All right, guys, well, that concludes our installation and demonstration of our S-Connect CarPlay Android Auto system on this 2013 Lexus LS 460. It also applies all the way up to 2017 Lexus LS 460. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. This product is ready to be purchased at BeatSonicUSA.com in stock and can be shipped to you right away. Thank you for all the support, and if you haven't yet, help our channel by subscribing and giving us that like on our video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys on the next video.